Nothing. Alright guys, sorry for the bad white balance. I'm finally using a webcam, and it's very weird. There's too much light in the room, then if I put too little, it whites out my whole face. So anyways, you're gonna just have to deal with this. Oh, sorry. It's backwards! This half of my face being really bright. So, anyways, my video this week was about a fan theory, which is something I don't usually talk about. So that is incredibly interesting. 1 second. Oh man, this is... Sorry, I'm gonna find a spot where the white balance is not... There we go. Okay, you're just gonna... I look weird like this, but that's okay. So, this week I was talking about my fan theory, and it's called Melted Down. So Melted Down was a theory about Daenerys Targaryen. If you don't know who Daenerys Targaryen is, then you need to start watching Game of Thrones and not be watching this video because you're not going to understand a single bit of it. So let's start with, actually let's start with just Game of Thrones fan theories. Actually, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do my theory because I talked about all of that in the post, which you should have read. So my fan theory I explained better in writing, so I'm going to read just a little bit of it and maybe expand on some stuff. So my theory was for the ending of Game of Thrones in general, and that, generally means who's going to be left? Well, I don't actually know. So if you're looking for direct, correct, and completely educated guesses and you're coming to the wrong spot, this is a theorist's blog, so don't listen if you're looking for the right answers because I don't have them. This is just an educated guess. Um, so my theory was that Daenerys is going to come to Westeros, and everybody's expecting that, and I still have hope for her, even though most people don't. I hope that she comes to Westeros, not just to, they say winter's coming, and I think, that's a good reason for her to bring her dragons, but I think another good reason is so she can melt down the Iron Throne. No, whoa, wait, what? Jesse? Are you crazy? Why would she do that? She's been fighting for this all her life. Well, yes, she has, but if you've been watching and reading, you will find that she is starting to like less and less the idea of rulers. And so far, the throne has come to represent every single thing she hates about the world. Slavery, greed, rulers, and people telling people what to do and taking advantage of people below them. And that's just not who she is. Um, so it makes sense that she would come to hate the Iron Throne. And I think, in the end, she's probably going to end up not liking it at all, especially when she goes to Westeros and finds out that it's sometimes just as bad as the places that she's been in. It's just a little less obvious where the slaves are. So I would like to see her melt it. I think it's also kind of not, I said ironic, but I mean it's like putting a nice pretty bow in a package. Her family started it, so it seems only just and right and good that her family would end it. So if you read the books, you will know, and I think they might have mentioned it in the first season of the show, um, that the throne was made with dragon fire. And so it was like Prince Aegon the First had his black dread melt all the swords of the people he conquered into one mass of a throne, and that's how the throne was made. So I think the only thing that could really melt it down quickly is dragon fire. So I think if she brings Drogon, her black dread, to melt the throne, I think that'd be pretty cool. I think she should bring the other two and release them. I don't know how that's going to happen. See, as I said, these are theories. I just don't know. Um, I think that would be interesting too. So that's my idea for Daenerys. I think she should melt it. It would be bittersweet, of course, because you know that she's going to deal with the mess that Westeros is and all these emotional issues that she's probably got from the things she's been through. Um, so this is not the only part of this theory. The next part is about the Starks. So um, in that same interview I mentioned with Sky News, George R. R. Martin said that the ending was going to be bittersweet. And I think it would be incredibly bittersweet if he left the last 4 Starks alive. So that means Arya, Sansa, Bran, and Rickon. Because I think there's another thing he said. All the Starks are either dead or have gone mad. And that is so true, and I think if he left them alive and gave them the North back, it would be a lot like Tolkien left Frodo in The Lord of the Rings. His life was forever altered by his experience, and because of that, he's always going to have these physical and emotional wounds, and so are the Starks, and I think that would be, you know, a very real way to end it. Like, most things don't end things like that. It's not, they want to make life look like a pretty little box, which is not, and we've seen that throughout the entire show. So I think it would be nice to leave them alive, just because they'd have to be dealing with these things that anybody who went through physical or emotional abuse would have to go through. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and this blog, and if you have any theories, post them in the comments, and I will listen to them. And I will see you next week. Bye.